89.7 PowerFM. We're on the phone right now with David from Remedy Drive. David, thank you so much for calling in today.
Yeah, good to be talking with you guys.
Yeah, and I do want to say congratulations. You are the first guest we've ever had on the new morning show. So I know this is a really big honor for you. So you can take a minute if you need to.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's
I'm honored.
leaping with excitement about all of that.
Yes, and we've got information on the bulletin board about the show you guys are playing at SMU next Friday. You can find that kvrk.com. And this is a free show, so what's going on all behind this thing?
So I'm pretty pumped about this. The college is partnering with us as well as local counter-trafficking organizations to do a concert and to raise awareness and to build community around the idea of getting involved in the fight against human trafficking and slavery. All of this happening in the month, as you probably know, that January is the month for human trafficking and slavery prevention. So I'm excited to have so many different people and organizations involved with the same emphasis and the same momentum.
One of the things you were saying, you wanted to do this to raise awareness. So what do you guys do anything to kind of move people from, okay, now you're aware, what does the action step happen next?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, awareness, I'm not sure who said it, awareness without action is apathy, which I've been there for so long. And that's why we wrote Commodity. That's why we wrote this album, because I do think it takes more than just knowing about it. It takes our hearts to get engaged, and that's what I love about music. It has a way of engaging the heart, but I don't want to leave people hanging once they know they want to take action. So we partner with Exodus Road, which is an international organization that goes around rescuing girls and boys out of trafficking, specifically in the red light districts of Southeast Asia and in India and other places. So people can partner with us and do a monthly financial support of a specific team. Like when I go to Southeast Asia, I join Team Delta, so you can give financially to the Exodus Road for a monthly donational fund a night of investigation. But there's so many other ways to get involved too. That's just an example.
We know that you work with Exodus Road. What's kind of your involvement been with them in the midst of releasing the album and playing shows? Have you seen or I guess heard from your listeners and your fans an increase in interest in Exodus Road? How involved have you been able to stay with them through this process?
I couldn't have orchestrated this thing had we tried to. It just kind of happened this way. The whole thing is one emphasis. When we tour, we're talking about our buddies in the Exodus Road and the guys and gals that are on the front lines. That's what we do at our concerts now. And we played a little concert in Nebraska, for instance, and the group of people there raised funds to send over like $4,000 the shipping cost on this cyber forensics gear that goes over to our guys on the front line, and they can strip the hard drives out of the bad guys' computers and do stuff real fast with this equipment. Thanks to this small group in Nebraska that got excited at a concert and raised these funds. So it's all tied together, and the songs hopefully are just the starting point. And what I say at a concert is, let's sing together at 110 decibels tonight, because that's important. It's going to unify us, and let that be what launches us into living with a dangerous selflessness, like Martin Luther King Jr. said. It's every night different. It's just fun to see how that affects different people differently. Some people go over because of a concert or because of something we said, and maybe we're the final straw to push them into taking action. So this girl, she's 18 or 19, she's going over to India to help with girls that are being pulled out of trafficking, to help rehabilitate them. So you never know how it's going to affect somebody.
It's so cool hearing stories like that. And one of the songs off the album that we've been playing it a lot lately is Dear Life. And I wonder if you'd share a little bit about how that song came together. Dear
Life is it's layered meaning, but for me, I got the idea. I was reading. I'm partial to my namesake's Psalms, David, and in the message, what's great about the message, it takes us. Sometimes I don't know if it's like this for you, but when I read something I've read a few times, when I read it in a message or in a different translation, it reawakens it, and it humanizes David again. And in that, he said, "I'm hanging on for dear life." And so when I read that, that's where that line came from. And for me, even with my pursuit of the King, and I have many times felt like there was a time where there was more of a fire. There was more of more of a connection, and sometimes I feel like I've lost that connection, I've lost that purpose, I've lost that, and so this song's kind of a reminder that the only way I'm going to survive, the only way I'm going to really be free is if I'm holding on for dear life, if it has that intensity.
And I know you had mentioned that January is Awareness Month for human trafficking. Has your schedule just been like crazy busy this month compared to other months because of that? Like, has it helped you book a lot of shows, partnering with people that are doing human trafficking rallies and things like that?
It's not. We're not actually that busy. Not unintentionally, but we did go so hard last year that December and January have been nice and light. We went to Finland and Norway, and so we're not touring as much, but doing interviews and talking and trying to push stuff out. I'm on Facebook, I'm mentioning some of our heroes. Amy Carmichael, for instance, dyed her skin with coffee and went into Hindu temples to rescue 6-year-old girls from trafficking. And if you look at Harriet Tubman, for instance, she went down and was instrumental in the Underground Railroad a couple hundred years ago. So I'm writing about them. I'm trying to use the month. It's not just Awareness Month, it's Prevention Month. It's Human Trafficking and Slavery Prevention Month. So I'm trying to use the time to prepare for launching out.
We're so excited for you guys, everything that you're doing. Of course, talking once again to David from Remedy Drive. Those guys are going to be out at SMU at the Hughes Trigg Student Center Theater. We've got details about that on the bulletin board page over at kvrk.com. David, what's the best way for folks to connect with you?
Go to Facebook, go to our website. I'm David at remedydrive.com. I love talking to people about this stuff. And last time you guys interviewed me, I met a new friend from the Dallas area that he's an operative that goes out into the field all over the world, and that's what his passion is this stuff specifically. And so I love it that you guys help connect us.
I'm hoping that we get a lot more people, especially out on a college campus with all of this going on. Like, I'm really excited to see a lot of people get involved in, like you said, it's Prevention Month, taking that awareness into action. And I'm really excited to see you guys come in and to get people in this area excited about that whole issue.
Well, David, thank you so much for calling in today. We will see you next Friday.
All right, thank you, guys.